It's looking really bad, Donald. Donald Trump's health is rapidly declining as his top staffers throw him under the bus, either intentionally or inadvertently. You be the judge. This past week, you had Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump's chief propagandist. She was asked, why does Donald Trump's hand keep having bandages on it? Why does it look discolored that way? What is going on? Clearly, he's getting some sort of injections or IV. Something's going on with his hands that are not normal. Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump's chief propagandist, comes up with this. The best answer she can think of, he shakes so many hands. That's why. That's why, because he handshakes a lot of people. That's why it looks that way. Just take a look at what his hand looks like. I'll just show you some other photos of it. That's not from shaking lots of people's hands. There's an injection taking place there. There's something deeply serious happening. Watch Caroline, and then I'm going to show you what some other Trump staffers said that I think were actually even more damaging. Here, play this clip.
Yes, in the blue.
Caroline?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. The President's been spotted out and about a number of times with bandages on his hands. Could you please explain what that is about? Secondly, he noted on Truth Social the other day that he had aced 3 cognitive tests. Could you please clarify when those tests took place?
I can do that at a later date. I obviously don't have that in front of me. The president has spoken about that quite extensively throughout the years. As for the bandages on the hand, we've also given you an explanation for that in the past. The president is literally constantly shaking hands. The Oval Office is like Grand Central Terminal. He is meeting with more people than any of you even know about on a daily basis. He's also on a daily aspirin regimen, which is something his physical examinations has said in the past as well, which can contribute to that bruising that you see.
So I want to show you what Donald Trump's Commerce Secretary had to say. Howard Lutnick. Before doing that, just a reminder, hit subscribe. We're on our way to 6 million subscribers here on the MeidasTouch network. You know, we're reporting on things that corporate news has really refused to report on. We've been leading the way in reporting on Donald Trump's deteriorating health. You may think you're subscribed. Just double check that you're subscribed. So then Howard Lutnick gives an interview the other day, and Lutnick was saying, you know, the thing that's so great about Donald Trump is that he never sleeps. He doesn't sleep at all, and it's incredible. Yeah, that's a sign of Alzheimer's and dementia, Lutnick. Here's what Howard Lutnick says. Here, play this clip.
Give it all we've got. The president sleeps less than me. I sleep 5 hours a night. The president sleeps 4 hours a night, and he's working all the time. He calls me late at night. He wants to talk about the day. He's on it all the time. It is the most impressive thing you've ever seen.
So, Howard, you got to watch.
And I'm glad that other independent media is focused on this as well. For example, you had Rosie O'Donnell. She was just on with Jim Acosta, and here's what she had to say. Play this clip.
If you can't tell that this man is in the throes of a serious cognitive health crisis, then you're not awake or alive. Did you see him try to walk to the helicopter with
I saw that.
Melania or someone looking like Melania? I mean, I don't know that she would have the strength to do what that person did and carry, like he was leaning on her because the left foot doesn't function in the same way that it used to. I mean, he's in trouble and he's very ill. And no one is talking about that.
And then you had psychologist John Gartner, who you've seen on the MeidasTouch network. Here he appeared also in the Daily Beast. Here's what he had to say. Play this clip.
He may have Alzheimer's. His symptoms seem to point more towards frontotemporal dementia. In dementia, we see a deterioration in at least 4 main areas. Language. During the campaign, there were supercuts of people making fun of him for his mispronunciations or malapropisms. Memory, we talked about last time about his not recognizing Hakeem Jeffries. Behavior, you know, his disinhibited behavior. And then finally, psychomotor performance. It appears like it is on the right side of his body that he had the droop with the face. It's also on the right side of his body that he has the wide-based gait where he swings his leg in kind of a semicircle. And what we're seeing is consistent, gross, progressive deterioration in all of these 4 areas. In dementia, very overlearned motor behaviors, things we don't actually think about because they're so overlearned, those programs start to deteriorate. One of the things that I'd like to point out is I believe his doctors who have examined him know that this is not within normal limits. And I think the information that has leaked out is enough for us to conclude that they know he has organic cognitive decline. If Donald Trump were just an ordinary patient and you saw these kinds of serious signs of dementia, a responsible doctor would give him both a neuropsychological battery and an MRI.
And then you had Donald Trump's nephew, Fred Trump III, say the following.
I know what I saw in my grandfather. I know what I saw in Donald's older sister, my Aunt Marianne, who in the end, thank you for saying, I am not a doctor. I don't pretend to. I know the warning signs from both of my grandfathers, what it is. Donald's cousin, John Walters, had dementia. It runs in the family. I'm not happy about it because guess what? I worry about it myself. You know, where's my glasses? Oh, on the top of my head now. I don't know. That may be Alzheimer's, but it runs in the family. He looks older, and I get it. I mean, I'm not saying anybody who is in that office looks different than when they come out. But the things he's spewing and the craziness, and he just can't stick to a message.
And then you had Mary Trump, Donald Trump's niece, say the following. Here, play this clip.
Concerns over Donald's physical and mental decline are mounting, even among Republicans. Donald is 79 years old and a deeply unhealthy person. His father had a very serious case of Alzheimer's that went on for about 15 years. Every day, Donald seems increasingly feeble and unable to focus. Even the New York Times is starting to catch on to this. And as he weakens, so too does his hold over the Republican Party. On November 19th, journalist Amanda Marcotte speculated in an article that it was Donald's MRI that spurred GOP House members to reverse their stance on the vote to force the release of the Epstein files. She wrote, quote, "The White House continues to deny there are problems with Donald's health. But since they lie about everything, those words mean less than nothing. The public evidence that the 79-year-old Donald is not doing well is hard for even the most diehard MAGA types to ignore," unquote. Recently, according to the Daily Beast, Donald accidentally boosted a post from an account literally called "Impeach Donald for a Third Time." Included was Senator Mark Kelly's message reminding service members they can be constitutionally obligated to refuse legal orders. In other words, Donald promoted calls for him to be removed from office. It's another day proving the obvious. Donald cannot tell his allies from his enemies, his days from his nights, or his own propaganda from uncomfortable truths about his failures.
Now, a reminder, Donald Trump, the last time he discussed his MRI, he said that when he was exposed, he was trying to conceal it, right? And then we were like, oh, it says advanced imaging. What type of advanced imaging? We said he obviously got an MRI. And then finally, Corporate News kept on asking him, was it an MRI? And then he goes, yeah, but I don't know what body part. And then his doctor put out some like phony doctor note from Walter Reed. And the phony note was like, oh, it was a preventative abdominal MRI. And then Trump's like, I take all these cognitive exams too. I ace every one of my cognitive exams. Just so you remember, here's what Donald Trump said about the MRI. And he doesn't know what part of the body it was on, though. Here, play this clip.
They asked about my MRI. MRIs are very...
And Governor Walz asked you to release the MRI records.
Will you tell us what it was
Governor
for?
Walz? You mean the incompetent Governor Walz? So if they want to release it, it's okay with me to release it. It's perfect.
What were they
It's like my phone call where I got impeached. It's absolutely perfect. So if you want to hear about it or if you want to release it, do you want to have it released?
Yes,
News Nation? Failing News Nation?
No, sir, we're not failing.
News Nation is doing lousy, by the way. But if you want to have it released, I'll release it.
Yes, please. Can you tell us what they were looking at?
For what, releasing?
No. What part of your body was the MRI looking at?
I have no idea. It was just an MRI. What part of the body? It wasn't the brain because I took a cognitive test and I aced it. I got a perfect mark, which you would be incapable of doing. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank
you too.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And then I brought on Dr. Gupta, who said that, Donald Trump continuing to brag about taking these cognitive exams so frequently, that's not normal. And it's the Montreal cognitive exam is something that, people with, serious issues take. And it's not a normal exam. Here, play this clip. Dr. Gupta, I know you got to run. I just want to close the loop on one more thing. In the experts that you speak to and in your own practice, have you ever heard of somebody taking these cognitive exams that Trump keeps saying he's taking like every 3 months or 6 months? This level of, have you ever heard of that? Like with that level of frequency?
No, nobody takes a Montreal Cognitive Assessment, MoCA for short, which it focuses on recall, memory loss, basic things. Mild cognitive dysfunction is what it tends to sort of screen for. It's not a great tool. No one takes it with this type of frequency. I was on with Nicole Wallace yesterday, and I thought she said it beautifully. Saying that you're passing it every other week is not some sort of flex here that he thinks it is. It's an unusual thing to keep boasting about. Doing it as frequently as he's doing makes no sense. I don't know any neurologist that would recommend doing a MoCA with that type of frequency. And again, it's not the flex that I think he thinks it is.
It's interesting to see how state regime media known as Fox is trying to cover for Donald Trump. So this is the story that state regime media ran. Exclusive. Inside Trump's private schedule as media fixates on his health. Trump's busiest day included 32 events, while the longest stretched over 13 hours. Fox News Digital obtained a copy of Donald Trump's personal schedule since December 1st, showing back-to-back-to-back calls and meetings that frequently drag into the evening. The president has come under heightened scrutiny in recent months, but we have his schedule. Okay, like we see him at the meetings. That's the thing about state regime. Like, don't believe your eyes. We have the secret schedule. Okay, no, we have the schedule also. And he starts his day at like noon. And then now he's wearing like cowboy hats during meetings and he's falling asleep. I mean, we've seen him. Like, he can't walk straight. He can't walk. I showed you the clip earlier as what's her name? As Rosie O'Donnell was talking about it. And she was like, look, he wasn't even walking in a straight line. But then when Donald Trump rolled out the red carpet for Putin and had our military go on their knees for Putin, Donald Trump couldn't walk in a straight line. When he was in Japan, he needed like Prime Minister Takaishi to be like his chaperone. It was like really, really bad stuff right there. In any event, we created this video at the MeidasTouch network about Donald Trump having dementia. Again, I don't know. It's an opinion. I don't know that. Let me be very clear. I am giving a First Amendment opinion right here by showing you the signs and symptoms that he's always covering up the hand, his behavior, the hiding things. I don't know. Again, I'll be clear. But here's a video that we put together on frontotemporal dementia. Here, play this clip.
And my stupid people, when I wanted to refute it, they said, sir, don't dignify it with a rebuttal.
Have you been noticing peculiar behavior recently in someone you know?
Carried out by Ray.
Someone who mixes fiction and reality?
The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man.
Perhaps someone of advanced age you have known for years.
Did you just see Maduro, Venezuela? It's unbelievable, Venezuela.
Of course, we all have our goofs. But consistently odd behavior can be a sign of frontotemporal dementia, a degenerative disease of the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain that dramatically impairs cognitive function. And there are some key signs to look out for, like slurring words.
The failing New York Times by anonymous, really anonymous.
Struggling to find the correct words is another sign.
The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges of the investigation.
You may also notice someone veering into incoherent ideas, detached from reality.
You know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark.
Or an inability to complete simple sentences.
Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat.
Other notable symptoms include impaired motor function, such as a wavering limb, and decreased balance, often accompanied by a signature lean or arched stance. If someone you know is demonstrating several or all of these symptoms, they are seriously unwell. As a matter of safety, they must be relieved of critical responsibilities and disqualified from any position of authority. Remember, frontotemporal dementia is a degenerative disease. Cognitive function will never return and will only deteriorate further. Don't ignore the signs.
Tell me what you think, folks. Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. And thanks so much for watching.
I'm Michael Popak, and I got some big news for our audience. Most of you know me as the co-founder of MeidasTouch's Legal AF and the Legal AF YouTube channel, or as a 35-year national trial lawyer. Now, building on what we started together on Legal AF, I've launched a new law firm, the Popak Firm, dedicated to obtaining justice through compassionate and zealous legal representation. At the Popak Firm, we are focused on obtaining justice for those who have been injured or damaged by a life-altering event by securing the highest dollar recoveries. I've been tirelessly fighting for justice for the last 35 years, so my own law firm organically building on my Legal AF work just feels right. And I've handpicked a team of top-tier trial fighters and settlement experts throughout all 50 states known as big auto injury attorneys who have the know-how to beat heartless insurance companies, corporations, government entities, and their attorneys. Big Auto's attorneys working with my firm are rock stars in their respective states and collectively responsible for billions of dollars in recoveries. So if you or a loved one have been on the wrong side of a catastrophic auto, motor vehicle, rideshare, or truck accident, suffered a personal injury, or been the victim of medical malpractice, employment harassment or discrimination, or suffered a violation of your civil and constitutional rights, then contact the Popak Firm today at 1-877-POPAK-AF or by visiting my website at www.thepopakfirm.com and fill out a free case evaluation form. And if we determine that you have a case and you sign with us, we don't get paid unless you do. The Popak Firm, fighting for your justice every step of the way.